Hey, what's going on? I'm gonna fix my camera. Hey, March 15th, 2:43 in the afternoon. I slept all morning. Uh, I got a couple of dollars off my dad this morning, and I went out. I took a ride. Ooh, a pretty girl. There's a pretty girl. Uh, I took a ride. I thought I saw this girl that I had over one time. You know, I have this idea. You know, there's this guy I work with, and he lives in Mill Basin. You know, and he's got issues. You know, and I have this idea that like he's getting girls that I slept with to come over to his place and film porn with him. I have this idea. You know, and it's probably far fetched. You know, but I imagine like I imagine of course I imagine like the worst case scenario where like I'm left out of the loop and like I have nothing involved in it to do with it, and like this guy has insulted me before, where he's like, oh, you're fat, you're overweight, you can't do anything, you'll never accomplish anything. So I have this idea that like he's getting these girls to go over his house and film porn, and they're having like a great time without me. you know so I'm like, oh, that must be where she's coming from. Where she was in a car driving with a driver on Avenue N. I was like, oh, that must be where she's coming from. And those kind of thoughts, like it's like negative thinking. And it's like it hurts. It hurts so much. Where like my thoughts will start running away with me. And it's like, I don't know, like the nature or the cause, like why I'm always wrapped up in negative thinking. I wish I could think more positive. You know, uh, I don't know, like maybe it's like a defense mechanism, or maybe it's like it's some other, like I'm trying to like identify what kind of mechanism it is that makes me think these irrational thoughts. Where like maybe like they could be like in a sense they could be positive, like for instance, like maybe they're thoughts that like arouse my sex drive. you know but they don't really arouse my sex drive. All they do is frustrate me and get me angry. you know like other thoughts, like thoughts on my own, for the most part, I'm in control of my thoughts for the most part. But then there's these other thoughts, there's these other things like outside of my control that influence my thoughts. And a lot of these thoughts really hurt. And I don't know. I got back to the block and I went through a whole cigarette, just like going, oh my god, like I'm missing out on all this like action. And like no one accepts me for who I am, and I smoked a whole cigarette in one shot, like in one pull, and I was just like bugging out for a second. I got back to the block. I saw this girl that used to work at Met Food. She was walking up the block. She was probably going home. She's a really pretty girl. There were two really pretty girls that used to work at Met Food that like I really liked. One was a blonde girl, believe it or not, and I had bought her a bracelet one time, and she returned the bracelet to my mom. She was like, "Oh, I can't accept this." I really wanted to have a relationship with her. She seemed like an edgy type of girl. Like she would be down for some type of adventure or something like that, or like maybe she had some sexual prowess to her. And she was someone that I thought I would really enjoy being with. And then there's a friend who's a brunette, taller than her, and she also seems like she has some sexual prowess to her. And I'd really enjoy being with her. And I saw the friend walking home, and I was like, should I roll up on her and all this shit with like the bakery girl, where the bakery girl had her dad threatened to call the police on me if I returned to the bakery. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything malicious to her. I didn't say anything negative to her. And like I keep getting in these situations. Like the reporter was like the first situation I got into, where like people just like they totally took me out of context, and I went to jail for it. And then like this girl at Met Food is another one that people took me out of context. And I almost got banned from Met Food for that. And then we had another one with the bakery girl, where like they took me out of context. All I was doing is offering them a ride. I'm trying to make friends, and it's so difficult to make a girlfriend and stuff. It's like it's almost impossible, and I'm just thinking like, how many more of these circumstances do I have to go through before like, like how do I learn my lesson? Like, how do I learn my lesson? I don't. I don't learn my lesson. I want a girlfriend. I want friends. And like the circumstance is that like I have to keep getting fucking rejected, and like finding out the hard way that like people don't want anything to do with me. People are just assholes. People are such assholes, man. And people could be such assholes. So I'm smoking a cigarette and I'm sitting on my corner, and I posted something nice about the girl Uranus this morning, the way I felt, like, and I really miss her. I wish she never left me. I really wanted to have a life with her, and it's a shame the way things happened. And I hope I can make something happen with another girl, that I'm just as attracted to, someone that's attracted to me. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I hope everyone has a good day. I think, is today St. Patty's Day? I don't know. I think it might be St. Patty's Day today. I don't know. I hope everyone has a good day, and peace out. Bye.